that the rule of law requires us to be able to, for example, 40% of illegal immigrants come with legal visas and they overstay their bounds. A great country ought to know where those folks are and politely ask them to leave. So, okay, now you've cut out 6 million people, and if you did that from the, kind of as it occurs, it would restore people's confidence. There are means by which we can control our border better than we have. And there should be penalties for breaking the law.
All right, folks, welcome back to Gimme 5. And that, of course, is former Florida Governor Jeb Bush. He's making noises that he's going to run. He says he's going to decide this year whether or not he's going to seek the Republican nomination for President of the United States. You just heard him speaking about immigration reform. He was on Fox News Channel, and it was an event taped, sponsored by Fox News Channel, I would imagine. Anyway, that's okay, if they're here illegally, whatever. If they came to their country, and they broke the law, whatever, get them out, and that would narrow down the field. But here's what I have a problem with, and I'm sure this is not going to fly with the conservative base. I'm telling you now, and this is why he'll never win the primaries, which is a good thing in my view, and why he would never get the vote out. You're not going to out-liberal Hillary Clinton on immigration. So here it is.
But the way I look at this, and this is not, I'm going to say this and it'll be on tape, and so be it. The way I look at this is someone who comes to our country because they couldn't come legally. They come to our country because their families, a dad who loved their children was worried that their children didn't have food on the table. And they wanted to make sure their family was intact. And they crossed the border because they had no other means to work, to be able to provide for their family. Yes, they broke the law, but it's not a felony. It's kind of it's an act of love. It's an act of commitment to your family.
I'm sorry. Governor, with all due respect, what if we had borders on the East Coast and borders on the West Coast? We have border on the North and the South. What if we had poor countries on our East and West Coast, and they decided they needed to help their families, so they invaded us as well. They broke the law as well. They came here as well. Would you welcome everybody who could possibly get here? What about stowing away on a ship? What about coming from Haiti? What about hiding out on a plane, trying to get in here illegally from, I don't know, a poor country in the Middle East? Is that all okay? Is that all an act of love? What about the sanctity of our borders and the integrity of our borders and our solidarity, our country? You want to get rid of borders? Get rid of borders. You want to have borders? Enforce them. Act of love. That's going to go over very well with the base. Oh, so well. So well. Here's more.
I honestly think that is a different kind of crime that there should be a price paid, but it shouldn't rile people up that people are actually coming to this country to provide for their families. And the idea that we're not going to fix this but with comprehensive reform ends up trapping these people when they could make a great contribution for their own families, but also for us.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Bleeding heart, bleeding heart, bleeding heart. It's just out of hand. The Mexican government gives these people who come here illegally CDs and DVDs on how to get in here illegally, how to get our benefits, and milk us. How about that? Here's the next one.
The great number of people that come here to this country come because they have no opportunities in other places. They may love their country, but they come here because they want to provide for their families, and they can make a contribution to our country if we actually organized ourselves in a better way.
I'm sorry, Governor. I mean, with all due respect, that is so pathetic. They come here because they love their countries. They come here because their country doesn't give them any opportunity. That's not our problem. There's a legal means by which to get here. And if they can't get here, then Mexico has a social net. And as I said, what if it wasn't just Mexico? What if we had countries like Mexico on each one of our, what if we had 4 borders and they were all like Mexico? We would just welcome everybody? Doesn't make any sense. And you're just holding up the sign with that kind of statement saying, commit an act of love, break into our country. Not going to fly. On the Steve Malzberg Show on Newsmax Television.
The Steve Malzberg Show.